Hello and welcome to this channel. Welcome to this video where I am talking about my Achilles tendon rupture recovery journey. My name is Janine Esbrand and I am a millennial who is navigating the highs and lows of being a wife, a mum, a business owner, a podcaster, a child of God, and I'm here to share my experiences. If you're interested in those things, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see when I post more videos. Today's video, I want to talk about weeks 3 to 4 post-op in my Achilles tendon rupture recovery journey. Weeks 3 to 4 have been quite eventful in terms of me feeling like I've turned a bit of a corner. Now, this recovery journey is so long that you literally wait for the next milestone. This recovery journey is so long that you have to have milestones. You have to think about the next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks ahead so that you can just stay focused on where you're going, because if you focus on where you are too much, you can spiral into despair. One of the things that happened between weeks 3 to 4 that I was so happy about is finding a community of people who are experiencing or have experienced this injury. On Facebook, there is a group called the Achilles Tendon Rupture Recovery Group, and in that group you have people from all around the world who have ruptured their Achilles and are sharing their experiences. What's great is that you have people who have been in the group for a long time and have finished their recovery journey and are in there to encourage and share what is possible 9 months, a year, 18 months, 2 years after having done the injury. And then there's people who are just starting, and so for those who are just starting, I feel like I'm a bit ahead and I can share with them some of the tips that I have learned and things that I think can be helpful. And for those who are ahead, I can take inspiration. I can be like, okay, I'm here now, they were here now, and then I can see where they are. And what's great is when I see somebody who shares where they are now, say they're back to playing sport or they're back to being active and they don't have pain anymore, I can search. If you click on their name in the group, it will bring up all the posts that they've shared before, so you can kind of go back and see when they were at your stage, if they were actively sharing in the group. And it's just, I can't tell you how helpful this has been for my mental state. I've been struggling up and down with this on a daily basis. I can be like, yeah, I'm fine, it's good, 1 minute, and then be full of frustration the next. And so being in this group and being alongside people that get it and are going through it, so helpful. So if you are experiencing this injury, highly recommend joining this group. Or there's also some threads that I've seen on Reddit or other online platforms, but get into community. It's very hard for people who are in your life to fully understand. People will empathize, people will sympathize, but unless you've done it and been through it, you just don't fully understand how it feels, right? So that community has been so helpful for me. The other thing that has been brilliant is putting down the crutches. Between weeks 3 to 4, I was able to put down the crutches and start fully weight bearing. So I did it bit by bit. So first I was like, okay, today let's see if I can put a bit of weight on it. And I felt like I could. And then I did it, a few steps, and then would use the crutches. And towards the end of week 4, it's very much in a place where I'm not walking, I wouldn't call it walking, I would call it shuffling without the crutches. But the downside of that is there was a lot of swelling. So my ankle, at the end of the day when I would go to wash my leg, there'd be a lot of swelling around my ankle because I guess it's getting used to being used again. But I would just elevate it a lot more the next day, try not to do too much. There are a few days, I'm not gonna lie, I get too excited, right? I'm like, oh, we're making progress, and then I'm like, oh, I can cook dinner, I can unload the dishwasher, I can sit at my desk again. And then come to find out the leg feels tight, it feels very swollen, and so I was like, okay, maybe I can't sit at my desk. Just sitting at my desk was a luxury. Being able to light my candle and sit at my desk and have my multiple screens and just get into work felt so good. But I was like, okay, I'm trying to do too much too soon. So a couple of days I went back to working in my bed, and then I went back to working in the living room. And you very much have to play it by ear and listen to your body. If my leg is swollen, it's telling me I'm doing too much, so I need to sit down and elevate it. But being able to step has been super liberating, just not having the crutches and being able to step. And I'm going to show you this device. It's called an Even Up, recommended by the doctor, because when you're wearing the boot, it has heel wedges in it to keep your foot like this while you're in the boot. And once you start to just use the boot and not the crutches, you're lopsided. They call it, your gait is off kilter. What I found pretty quickly is that my hips started hurting. So my hips started hurting because I was doing this like weird up and down motion as I was walking. So I initially didn't want to get the Even Up, so I purchased a pair of Adidas trainers that have the platform, thinking that the platform would be enough to even things up, but it wasn't. So I still had to get the Even Up, and I wear the trainers plus the Even Up, and that has helped, so that you're not trying to do this. It's bad enough just trying to walk in the boot when you're not really using your calf and you're just using your thigh. So yeah, trying to mitigate all of the variables is important. So the Even Up, highly recommend, and that has allowed me to kind of have a bit more freedom in walking around in the house. I'm still not going out much. I might go for the school run with my husband every now and then, but I haven't really been anywhere, which is sad. What else do I want to share? The other thing that has been absolutely incredible, chair workouts. And I realized yesterday, not only are they called chair workouts, also seated workouts. And the reason why that's important is because keywords on YouTube. So when I put in chair workouts, a few came up. I put in seated workouts and more came up. So there are a few YouTube channels I'll link below, one in particular who is dedicated to doing chair workouts for people who are either injured or elderly, or just have general disabilities that don't allow them to be able to do full workouts. These chair workouts, listen, it's a workout. Like, it's a whole entire workout. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I actually feel this. So you'll do like leg raises and stuff on the chair, like upper body punches, like you can do weights. There's lots that you can do. So I think the lesson there is, where there's a will, there's a way. I think sometimes we very much focus on what we can't do and get frustrated about what isn't possible and what we're not able to achieve, and don't spend enough time on what we can do and what is working. And so doing chair workouts a few times a week, I started with like 10 minutes first of all, and also some leg raises on my mat. And then yesterday I did like a 20-minute workout. So it's just allowing yourself to build up the kind of, the movement, because yes, your leg is in this cast, but that doesn't mean the rest of your body can't move. Because what I don't want to do is get to the point where I'm back walking, but like my fitness has gone out the window because I haven't done anything over the time that I've been recovering. So highly, I can't say enough. So highly recommend chair workouts, because even with my mood, I found, because I'm not exercising and I'm used to exercising, that would contribute to the negative like feelings. But once you work out, you get those endorphins going. It really helps with your mental health and just staying on top of like the feeling of helplessness and despair. The other thing that is really helping with that is prayer and meditation. I'm spending a lot more time reading my Bible. I am just taking my time and going through things and really reflecting on what the passage is saying, what the passage is saying to me, doing some Bible journaling and all of that, which has been so good. At the moment I'm going through the book of Luke, and I've read it before, but yeah, there's some things in there, just seeing how Jesus rolled and like how he navigated things and how people responded to him has just been insightful. So many nuggets coming out of those study sessions. The next milestone will be the week 6 milestone, where I will see the consultant and they should be taking out one of the wedges. So I'll go from 4 wedges to 3. So my leg's going to go down a bit. I don't even know what the angle is, but it's going to go down a bit so that my ankle can start getting used to walking at that gradient, and then we'll move it down again and move it down so that eventually I am back down on the floor with my boot, and then transition from the boot out. But I'll be back to share with you how that feels once that happens, and some things to look out for or consider if you are on the journey and coming up to that stage. But that's all I have today. Until next time, look after yourself. Bye.